definitely appreciate you coming on.
No, thank y'all for having me, and let's do it, man. We here.
Yeah. So, Luis, man, what's in Broken Champ? What's in great to have you.
Yeah.
What made you want to get started with boxing?
Man, let me tell you, I wasn't a fanatic of the sport. I disliked it, but my dad was a big fanatic of the game, and he's the one that took me to the gym one day. The first month, I was just dreading every time we had to go to the gym. I dreaded it, but as time kept going, I picked it up and I grasped it. I picked up some rhythm on my feet, and here we are 28 years later, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? So how old were you when you turned pro?
I was 20 turning 21. I turned pro in 2000 actually.
Okay.
In May of 2000, right after the Golden Gloves in New York.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, when did you first realize that maybe you did have professional level talent?
Actually, when I went to the box office in 2000, that's actually that year was the first time that I competed with like national, international fighters. Because before that, I only fought in the JO, the Junior Olympics and stuff like that. But when I started fighting people from the World Games, it's like then I lost in the I want to say the semis because I got disqualified because I messed up my thumb. I couldn't fight the next day because of my thumb. I had jammed my thumb and I just didn't pass the physical at the time. And that's the only reason I got bumped off, because then I had lost to a kid from Phoenix, Arizona, but I was supposed to go to the losers bracket and continue. But I couldn't continue physically, and that's when I got bumped off. And but that's when I knew I had some type of talent. I was competing with the world-class amateur fighters.
Nice.
So, and your first professional fight when you first got out there was him. How was that feeling to the first professional fight that you ever had?
It was crazy because fighting with no headgear and coming out with no t-shirt on and little gloves. I think it was 8-ounce gloves. But when you get hit, I tell people you can't compare the amateurs to the professionals. One, smaller headgear, little gloves, and when you get hit, man, it feels like you're getting hit with a brick, especially with a puncher. With those punches, man, they hurt. And a lot of times in the beginning, you fight bums. I ain't gonna lie, you fight just to get those wins. But when you get hit, I don't care who you fighting, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
We, as fans, we always hear about these wars that boxers have in the amateurs, and you hear this person face this person in the amateurs, and but for some reason those fights don't never materialize on the pro level. What's that about? And did you fight anybody in the amateurs that you wish you had an opportunity to fight on the pro level?
Well, I never fought nobody like that turned pro and we in the same game. But I think the biggest fights were in the gym. A lot of people don't understand that in the gym you're getting prepared for a fight, and you go in there, y'all trying to kill each other. I don't care if it's your sparring partner, you knew him growing up. When you're in that ring, man, you're trying to be the best you can possibly be, and you're trying to make the other person better. So that's why you gotta give it your all. That's why you gotta go in there and bang out, and especially training camps for any fight. I think I probably had more injuries in preparing for a fight than an actual fight.
Wow.
That's how serious it is.
Now were you born in Queens, but you from Brooklyn?
No, they always got it confused. I'm Brooklyn all the way around. I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Brooklyn. Now I lived in Florida. I live in Florida now, but I'm a Brooklyn boy.
Okay. So when you was fighting amateurs and you were making your rounds and in the gym, you was in the gym out in Brooklyn?
Yeah, in Starry City Boxing Club.
Okay.
We had a deep squad. It was me. I was the oldest one in the group. It was me, Curtis Stevens, Daniel Jacobs. We had Saddam Ali, Kurt, J. Don Codrington was there at one point before he retired. Who else was there? Monty Barrett was there. Shannon Briggs. We had a decent squad, man.
That's quite a
So,
crew.
so how would you say growing up in Brooklyn influenced you? Because I know Brooklyn from being a city person myself. How did that influence you?
Well, you know, you had to grind to get out, to get what you wanted, man. It wasn't an easy way out for me, especially growing up in, I was born and raised in East New York, and then when later on in my life, I moved to Southside in Williamsburg, and back then it was just nothing but prostitutes, drugs everywhere, and that's just the life I grew up around. And in order to get out of there, you had to do something for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, and my dad took me to the gym. Otherwise, I probably would have been locked up with there right now.
Yeah.
Now, one of the questions, and I think you answered this already, is I was thinking, as fans, we don't get to see the hard work that goes into training. We only see the match itself. Can you speak a little bit about what it's like to go through a training camp?
You know, like I said, training camps are brutal, man, because everybody in camp is trying to prove themselves to themselves. And as a fighter growing up, I just wanted to be better than I was yesterday. You know, a lot of people want to be better than the next person, but my thing was I want to be better than what I was yesterday because I'm competing against myself. Even though you have those gym wars, but at the end of the day, like, if you're not trying to be better than you ain't gonna get better than the following day. You ain't gonna be better than nobody, especially yourself, because you're trying to improve who you are as a fighter. Especially for me, like, I want to know what I did wrong yesterday, so I won't do it again today. So that was my main thing in going into camping. But I never had camp like that. The only time I had really a good camp was for the Victor Ortiz fight. Really, I had 7 weeks.
That camp paid off.
Yeah.
That was only 7 weeks. All my other camps been 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
From the beginning, when I fought for the world title the first time with Jose Antonio Rivera.
Yeah.
2 week notice. They called me 2 week notice. I took the fight, and I became a world champion. Shane Mosley, they called me 4 weeks, which was really 3 weeks to get ready, and then the last week is a cool down.
Mm-hmm.
Amir Khan, 3 week notice. Berto, I had 4 weeks notice.
That's crazy.
The Thurman fight, 4 weeks notice. So I really never had a full camp except with the Victor Ortiz fight.
So that makes me wonder, because you fighting at 147. What's your walk around weight?
Walk around, I'll be 170 pushing.
Okay.
But again, I always tell people, I'm a gym rat. I'm always in the gym. But the main thing is getting ready for a fight. Like I could be in the gym all the time, but I'm not training for a fight. So it's totally different. Yeah. It's hard to explain for those that don't do it. But when you're getting ready for a fight, you train totally different than when you just training just to train.
I always wondered though, like, why you have some people that walk around, like, I always hear people say that that Errol Spence walk around at like 180, 185 and then cutting down to 147. That doesn't take a toll on you?
Yeah, it does. When you're young, it don't really hit you that hard. But as you get older, you start feeling it more. But again, how long he has for camp?
Yeah.
He got 8 weeks, 10 weeks at that. But like for like a fighter like me, the B side, they're not giving me that time.
Yeah. Man, it's interesting you mentioned that. Like, cause one of the things I wanted to ask you is about this A. We hear a lot about the A side and the B side.
Yeah.
Technology. And I don't. People say Floyd started it. Like, what's the A side and the B side? And how that work in boxing?
Let me say, as a fighter, I still don't understand it. But they consider me a B side. They consider me a B side, but I feel like I'm on the C side because I don't know. I'm not getting no fights. They don't want to give me no fights, but meanwhile, they're giving like bad fighters the good fights.
You know why? Because because people probably feel it's too risky of a fight.
Yeah.
I'm a high risk, low reward. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they feel.
What is that?
Fight.
I'm an athlete. Like, this is a sport. Like, it's like telling Jordan he can't play with LeBron, or like I don't know. It's just so weird, man. Just being a competitive sport. Like if you think you're the man, you're on the A side, you should fight anybody.
Yeah.
Now, if given the opportunity, who would you want to fight right now that's out there?
I fight. I called out every top dude. Anybody in the welterweight division. They picking, they handpicking like real like bad fights for these top fighters. It's embarrassing for the sport.
Yeah. I saw today that they were saying that that Terrence Crawford is supposed to fight probably looking at Josecito Lopez. I think Josecito Lopez last couple of fights, he looked really good, but
he showed up for the Thurman fight, but he started too late.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like you may have given people the blueprint to beat Thurman because you hit Thurman with a good body shot too.
Yeah.
And after that, everybody's trying to go for his body.
Yeah.
Yep. Go to the body on him. But I mean, so what's the holdup with getting these fights made, you think?
Politics. They're not trying to really push the fighters. I guess the promoters want to just the big fights to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And me right now, I'm jeopardizing that. I believe. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
So how come?
That's why they're giving these fighters easier fights until they build up that big fight.
I mean, for you, you've given a lot of fighters hell, though. I mean,
but that's the problem. See, I think what put me in the back burner was the Keith Thurman fight.
Yeah.
It hurt me. It was like a gift and a curse.
Yeah. Did they at least give you decent compensation for it? You don't got to say a number, but did they?
Yeah, but still, like, now it messed up my future, though.
Ability to earn later, right?
It's like a gift and a curse.
Oh, man. Yeah. So you've been in there with Andre Berto, Ricky Hatton, Sugar Shane, Keith Thurman, Amir Khan, and Victor Ortiz. Who's the best fighter you face, and why would you say they're the best?
Well, to be honest, the one that showed out the most, I'm gonna say not because I was at my best, but I was at my worst, was Amir Khan. He came, he did his thing. Yeah. I took that fight short notice. I had to cut a lot of weight for that fight. Actually, the night before the weigh-ins, I had to lose 15 pounds, man.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know how I survived the fight. To be honest, I don't even know why he didn't knock me out. I don't know how I survived that fight.
I want to know how you lost 15 pounds.
Yeah,
me too.
I had to kill myself, but at the end of the day, I don't know how I survived it. Like, I don't remember nothing of that fight, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
See, that's the crazy thing is as fans, we only see what happens in the ring. So when you see it on TV, it's like, man, this guy lost, but we have no idea as to what's happening on the back end of it.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for the fight. The team I had was just, they wanted to get paid, and my mind was somewhere else, and it was what it was. But I think that was my worst outing, and he did his thing, though. I give him his props.
Yeah, it's funny you said Amir Khan, because before you said it, I was thinking Amir Khan. I always tell people, like, to me, Amir Khan, and I don't know if you've been in with him, so you can speak to it. Amir Khan looks extremely fast, but he seems to be fast, but he also seems to be somebody like if you can land a good shot on him, he's done. He'll crumble. Is he really fast in the ring?
Let me tell you, his game plan was superb. Like I said, I wasn't at my best, but he still did his thing, and he studied whatever he studies with Virgil Hunter. He did it to the T.
Yeah. Wow. And what about what would you say about the experience with Ricky Hatton?
It was a joke. I think it showed itself. He after the fight he moved back down. I felt like I should have fought for the belt again once he vacated it. But then the politics of the game gave Miguel Cotto, which never fought at the welterweight division, gave him the opportunity to fight for it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. I've been getting robbed since day one.
Damn. At one time, were you working with Don King?
That was actually my first promoter.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And he put me in as a last minute replacement. He probably thought I was gonna get walked over. Actually, for that fight, when I fought Rivera, he was a CO in Massachusetts, and there was there was 3 officials, and 2 of them were COs.
Damn.
And I caught that right after the weigh-ins. I had caught that, and I had to get one of the COs out because I really would have lost. Because one of the COs gave it to Rivera at the end of the fight.
His co-workers.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but whatever it was.
Stacking the deck.
Yeah.
I look at some of your fights, like the Berto thing where 2 judges had a certain. You had Bill Clancy with the score to way off the 111-116. I mean,
Let me say that judge, it was a last minute replacement too.
okay.
You go do your research. It's so much stuff I have like to put out there, but I'm not gonna blab. It is what it is. Over with. I gotta take it for what it is, man.
I always wonder if just, is this a good idea? Now, you think that after each round they should show the scores, show the scorecards?
I don't like that.
Okay.
You know why? Because now they're gonna make it like the amateurs. And the amateurs, they were doing that. They let you know the score at the end of the round.
Oh.
So now, if the corner knows you up 5 points, yo, just run the whole fight.
You're just gonna run.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It gives it away, and you lose the funk of it.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought about it the other way. I'm thinking like if the corner knows that a person you down 4 or 5 rounds, you know, not everybody in there is a warrior. Some people are like, all right, the check is in the bank. I'm gonna get paid or whatever. I'm gonna quit on the stool, kind of thing.
The new generation, that's what they're in there for.
Yeah.
You ain't getting those big fights like you got back in the 80s, man.
Mm-hmm. And by saying that, rest in peace to Marvin Hagler. I don't know if
I know, man.
Yeah,
Condolences to his family and his friends, man. Like that was one of my favorite fighters growing up. Him and Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah, that's the Warriors.
Yeah.
Now, is there any particular fights that you would love to see happen? Is there any 2 boxers who you think would make a great fight?
I think right now, Teofimo and Tank would be a hell of a fight right now at the 135 pounds.
Nice.
I think that's the one I'm eyeing for right now. I think Brian Garcia, he's still a little hype. Yeah, he showed a lot of heart getting up from that knockdown. But I think he's still got a little more to prove.
Okay.
I agree. What do you think about the possibility of him fighting Pacquiao? Because I know at one point they were talking about that. I think he'll get knocked out.
He's not ready for Pacquiao. I don't care how old. See, that's another thing that gets me upset too. This fight is old. You know how many fighters how many young fighters look old and how many old fighters look young?
Mm-hmm.
Age don't matter, man. It's how you take care of yourself outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Spence and Crawford? That's a much hype fight. Do you think that fight will ever happen?
It's gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen now. I think they're gonna build it the way they built the Floyd and the Pacquiao fight. But I hope they don't wait that long.
Yeah. And who would you think would pull that one off?
I like Crawford more.
Okay.
He proved himself more in the junior welterweight division.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he haven't done none in the welterweight division, so I don't give him credit for what he have done in the welterweight division. Mm-hmm. But as a 140-pounder, he was a beast.
Yeah, he was beating everybody.
Yeah. He fought everybody at that weight division.
Yeah. I want to go back for a second to Don King because, you said Don King was your first promoter. Why does Don King get such a bad rap when it seems like other promoters like Bob Arum, they engage in similar business tactics? Like, I don't know if you've been following along recently, but Bob Arum has really been hard. Like, he was hard on Crawford. He's hard on Teofimo. Like, Teofimo fight went to purse bid, and Triller won the purse bid over his own promoter. But
I guess Arum didn't put no bid in. Arum is getting to a point that he's getting old, man.
Okay.
He's getting old, and I don't think he's really pushing for the fighters anymore. Like, if the fighter is exciting, he's exciting, but I don't think he's really dealing with that part of the business anymore. I think he's just a name.
Okay.
He's just the face of the company.
Yeah, because now Sean Porter's been trying to get that fight, and they said that he offered Sean Porter $1 million. But
correct.
Why would he give Sean Porter $1 million but give Kell Brook $3 million?
That just to let you know, like, look, we really don't want this fight. I gave you this, and you turn it down and say we gave you opportunity.
Okay.
Listen, half of these,
Terrible.
if you think about it, half of these fighters are doing that.
Yeah.
Or even I say the promoters, they'll give you, oh yeah, I'll give you X amount of dollars. Oh no, you turn it down. All right, we gave you opportunity. Moving on to the next. That's what's happening.
So it's more like saving face than anything.
Correct. And then what the fans do, oh, this fighter is scared of this. Like, come on, dude. Like, you're not getting in the ring, so please don't be a fan to that. If you're gonna be a fan of the game. Don't be just a fan of just one fighter and try to go back and forth with it. It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. I say this, like, watching the amount of boxing that I watch. It can be frustrating, but I do understand the business element of it. Like, as a fighter, you taking all the risk, you going in there, and there's the potential that you could get seriously hurt. So I don't see an issue with a fighter attempting to maximize and get the most they could get out of the promotion. But there are some fans, like you said, there's some fans that they just get frustrated and they be like, well, you know what? He offered Sean Porter $1 million. Sean Porter should just take the fight, and let that be it. What do you say to the fans that actually don't think about the business element of boxing and just think that a person should get in with anybody for any amount of dollars?
You just got to give them an example. What, like, if they have a 9 to 5 and they get paid $20 an hour, like, you know what? This week you're going in there, you only get paid $10 an hour. Are they gonna take it, or they're like, nah, I'm not taking it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Point.
How you gonna give me my worth and you don't know my worth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're just watching what I'm doing. You're not doing what I'm doing. Like, I gotta get up every morning, go work out, and sacrifice my life. You're not doing that. All you're doing is sitting back, having a drink, and watching the fight. You're not putting these hours in the same way. If you got to go to work, you only get paid $10 an hour this week. You're only getting paid 10, not 20. So I'm cutting you in half. Are you gonna go? You gonna go to work?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it,
It's rough, man. It's rough.
when you look at it, like you said, you might have performed so well that it makes it tough for you. But if anything, when you look at it, when you look at it and you eye these guys and you want to figure out what your next move is, based on now and your experience, what would be the ideal fight for you or something? Are you interested in getting into your own self-promotion to try to get ideal stuff too, or you comfortable where you're at?
As far as promotion-wise, my promotion, I think once I leave the game, I'm leaving the game, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it just, like I said, the gift and the curse. It's been rough, man. I've been grinding for the last 20 years, and it's been hell. I feel like if the promoter's not really pushing you, and you don't have a promoter that's really trying to get you up there, you ain't gonna get up there.
Mm.
You're gonna be used, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I keep it real. Like, you're gonna get used, and if they can't use you, you're gonna be on the shelf.
That's actually a good segue to the next question I had is, do you think there's anything even left for you to prove in the game?
They're not letting me. They're not giving me the opportunity, because I know I could be half of these dudes if I had the proper time and the same way they had the 8 weeks. If I had 8 weeks, I'd be a problem. But always giving that short notice, I fall short.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, right now, are you with PBC, right?
Yeah.
So PBC got a stable full of welterweights.
I'm the last one they're thinking about.
Hey, shit.
I mean, we said earlier, we said, it's what is it? High risk, low reward, but there has to be a fight out there to be made.
They keep putting me with the young guys. They don't want to put me in there with the former champions and stuff like that. They want to with the contenders. So now they want to see where I'm at, or where they at, basically where they at, really, because
Okay.
I'm where I'm at. But they just want to test them and see if they're worth their time.
Wow. So for you.
So I'm like the gatekeeper of the welterweight division.
Yeah. But
I was wondering, because we were talking about it earlier, it's almost as if they're trying to use you maybe as a stepping stone for a younger guy at this point to say, well, yeah, if you can get in and hold your own against this guy, maybe you deserve a shot at the title or whatever the case may be.
But they don't want to take that chance no more because they just don't know what Collazo is going to show up. If you give me time, I'm giving the best fighter hell. I don't care who it is. Anybody in the welterweight, I will give them problems because of my style. Not because I'm the best. It's just who I am, and as a fighter, I just don't care.
Yeah. And you southpaw too, right?
Correct. And I could take a shot, could give a shot. See, these dudes, they can give a shot. Half of them they can punch, but they can't take it.
Gotcha.
And when you have someone that can take it and give it to you, either you're gonna step up or you're gonna fold.
Yeah. I mean, the fights you've been in, it's like wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bang out. That Brooklyn comes out of me. I don't know what it is.
Wars. Man, you ain't never have a chance to get in the ring with Judah?
We sparred a couple of times. I helped him get ready for the Corey Spinks fight. He's actually. I thank him because if it wasn't for him, I would have never got up with Don King.
Okay.
He was with Don King too.
Yeah. After the sparring with Zab, he asked me who I was with. I'm like, I've been a free agent since I turned pro. He said, I got you. Then a couple of days later, I wind up having a meeting with Don, and we signed that same night.
Oh, wow.
Yo, what's it like to interact with Don King? Like from afar, they like, yo, Don King's a slippery dude.
Yo, he's straight hood. Like every other word is a curse, man. And he walks around with money like he's still doing numbers in the street.
Yo, so he try to sign you and come out of pocket? Like, yo, here's an advance.
He's straight blunt. Like he don't care about nothing. Whatever comes out his mouth comes out his mouth.
Well, was he getting you fights though?
I was fighting every undercard on Trinidad had in the garden.
Damn, nice. Look at that.
I was always. That's one thing with Don. Like I got some money, and he always had me on every show he had in the garden.
Yeah, nice. I mean, that's the thing with PBC though, because PBC got so many damn fighters. Have you ever actually met Al Heyman? Yo, Al Heyman just like this mythological person.
Absolutely. I actually, I met him actually, when Victor Ortiz fought Andre Berto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to actually talk to him a little bit.
Okay.
What is your take on some of these like amateur/professional fights, like what Floyd Mayweather's doing, the whole Jake Paul, Nate Robinson thing? What is your take on that?
I find it so disrespectful for the game, man. Like I believe every UFC fighter should stay in the UFC. Every boxer should stay in boxing. Everybody got to stay in their lane, basically. Like. You're messing up the game. Like all this, I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yo, if the check is right, you should beat some YouTube people up too, though.
I'll fight Jake Paul if you want to fight. I'll move up to 170 pounds. I'm not even 170 pounds.
Yeah, because it's really not about skill now. It's just about like the following that the person got. You know?
Exactly. It's not even going in your record. It's an exhibition.
Yeah.
I don't care. Give me some money. I go.
I mean, that's what Floyd didn't. Floyd go over to Japan and get like $8 million for beating up some dude in Japan.
He hurt that dude too. Like that dude was undefeated though, right? He had a big following in Japan. That's one thing about Floyd though. He knows his business, and you can't take nothing away from him. He's about his business.
Yeah, we had Antonio Tarver on, and we was talking to him, and I had asked him about Floyd, and I was saying that he think that Floyd was good or bad for the game because Floyd's business acumen really made a lot of fighters get calculated, and it took a lot of big fights off the table, right? So it's partially you appreciate Floyd because he brought the money to the game, and he got fighters really thinking long term. But the other part of it is he like, damn, like, yo, because now everybody is all about the bread, they not making the fights as fast as they would have made the fights before.
But you know what? Not everybody was committed the way Floyd is. That's the difference between these young fighters and Floyd. Floyd was committed. He wasn't hanging out. He wasn't partying. Yeah, he would go out and show up in the club, but he won't be drinking. He won't be going crazy. He was always committed. When he had to go to the gym, he was in the gym. Like when he had to focus, he was focused. But now you get this new generation. They just, oh, I want to go make some money, or I'm gonna go party first, do what I do, and when it's time to go fight, I go fight. Now they gotta lose mad weight. Floyd was always like 15 pounds overweight, if that.
Yeah.
It was a difference. New generation and Floyd is totally different.
I mean, you look at stuff like that when you get a guy like Errol Spence who almost lost his career in that type of situation.
Let me say, that's an eye opener for it should be an eye opener for anybody, especially Spence, man. Like that's a scary moment. I hope he recovered 110% because now they got to be careful who they put him in there with. He don't look the same to me. Yeah. I don't know if he does to y'all, but to me, he don't look the same.
He looked better than I thought he would look against Danny. But part of it was like I felt like Danny was scared to let his hands go.
Danny's not a natural 147 pounder either, so yeah, he can punch, but he's limited.
Yeah, and he's an easy target for he's an easy target.
Yeah. He's not a move. He don't move.
Yeah.
He's stationary.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like right now, I think I'd like to see Spence versus Crawford, but I realize that it's going to take some time for them to make it.
I won't mind. I won't mind Spence with Ungas.
That's what's going to happen. That's going to be Spence.
But again, I don't think Ungas got a chin.
Yeah, he's won a lot of fights lately too. He's looked a lot better recently. He looked.
Yeah, but if Spence touches him, I guarantee he's lights out.
Damn.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight for him.
He's a good technical fighter. He can move. He's a great counter puncher. But as far as chin, I don't think he got it.
Here's a fight. I think. How would you feel about fighting Broner?
Let me tell you, Broner's a straight up clown. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I got to actually see him a couple of years back in Atlanta. They had a boxing show up there, and he tried to sum me something like that funny. He tried to sum me something. I forgot how it was. I looked at him with like a serious face, and he said, "Yo, I'm just doing this, so I'm just trying to promote. And don't try to take it there. I'm not that." And this before I was saved, and I was still street. I didn't care about nothing. Like, don't come at me like that. He's like, nah, I'm just trying to promote. Nah, don't come at me like that.
Yeah, that's why Broner's still around though, because the talent. I mean, Broner has talent, but right now Broner's around for the antics more than anything. Like
he got more talent running his mouth than he does in the damn ring.
Yeah, the mouth is far more active than the actual amount of punches he throw per round.
Horrible. Well, he threw 100 punches.
That last fight, I watched that last fight. I think if anything, a draw.
100 punches.
I didn't have him winning that fight.
Okay, well, how many punches he threw?
I don't know if it was 100. He may not have. Yeah. He averaged probably like 7 to 8 punches around. I honestly feel like Broner was better at 140. That he should not. Broner shouldn't be fighting at 140.
He can't make 140 no more. I don't understand why you keep saying catch weight 44.
Yeah, he can't make weight. He can't make 140.
He was supposed to do 144, and this dude was on what, 2 week notice, guy?
Yeah. He
came in on weight, and Broner's been training for the last 10 weeks, whatever it was, and he still couldn't make the weight, and he had an extra 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh no, I think
was it right?
The money. It's the money. He get the money, and he want to party and go to the club and shoot dice, and
he has to pay that girl off too.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? I might as well just now make weight, and I don't know what you're doing, man.
Yo, that'd be a good fight with your level of activity though versus Broner. I think that'd be a good fight for you. I think that
he won't take it.
Yeah, because the risk. You think?
He ain't trying to lose.
Listen, I go to his house and we fight in the bathroom if you want.
He has to fight somebody.
He ain't gonna fight me. I can tell you that.
Man, that's crazy. Who's another dude that I feel like kinda has like a similar trajectory as you that to me is a good fighter also, Adrian Granados.
Yeah, but Grenade is what? It's a natural 135 pounder.
Yeah. He was looking good until Danny knocked him out. But he gave a good fight to
he was doing hella good. But again, the weight difference. When you're going up so many different weight classes, people don't like, oh, that's not a big jump. You gotta remember, 135 pounds, you gotta cut that weight. Then you're gonna blow up another 10, 15 pounds after the weight.
Mm-hmm.
So now you find at 47, you're not getting no bigger because you walk around 140, 145. Mm-hmm. How much bigger could you get?
Mm.
Then you got Danny at a natural. Now he's a more natural 47 pounder, which he's 140. But you already went up. You've been fighting that weight for how long already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. All that weight makes a big difference, man. The weight makes a big difference.
Yeah. I wonder what's next for Danny.
I would love that fight too.
Yeah, I wonder what's next for Danny.
We'll sell that in the Barclays. We'll sell that out like Puerto Rican Day weekend.
Yeah, and in Brooklyn, Danny got a lot of big fights at Barclays.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm from Brooklyn, so I'll sell that place out just me.
Yeah, man.
That
you got to get your manager on the phone with Al Heyman.
They talk all the time. I'm on the back burner right now.
Damn. You know what it is? It's because you're not on social media doing antics.
That's not who I am. I never, even when I was living that street life, I was never one of those to just go out there and run my mouth.
Yeah.
My thing was just, I got to fight. When Collazo's fighting, there's a fight. That's my thing. I'm not going to sell you. If I got to sell something outside the ring and not give you a fight inside the ring, I'm not doing my job.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what Bronis does. He'll sell you a fight outside the ring. When he get in that ring, he just want to do nothing.
Yeah.
But he's getting it. He's making that money.
So how do you think we get these promoters and guys to start getting together to try to make some of these fights? Because I think when you got all these people, you got people running and ducking, and then you got people like that's good that guys don't want to fight them because they're a little nervous and stuff like that. I mean, what do you think we can do to get around that, or get to a point where it starts becoming you start making some of these fights like you fought a lot of quality guys and had a lot of wars. So yeah, it obviously scared some of these other guys, but you would think that how do we get that challenge back in the game where people actually want to try to do that? Is there any way you think we could do something about that?
It's gonna be hard because promoters, they're not trying to lose their belts. So now if you're not part of the team, why I'm gonna fight somebody else that might be my guy and might take the belt from the team?
Mm-hmm.
These promoters ain't trying to lose that belt. They're losing money.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of fights is not happening because the top guys are in different organizations, different promoters. I won't say organizations because there's no nothing organized in boxing. If it was, a lot of big fights would have been happening. I'm saying as far as big fights happening, the promoters got to get together and do it. But I don't see it happening because boxing is not organized. There's no organization. It's just every man for themselves.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that's hindering Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence from fighting, because I feel like, honestly, that Bob Arum feels like, the fight has to be built up big enough for them to generate tons and tons of revenue. That way, if Terrence Crawford did lose, at least, we made some good money off of it. But if Terrence Crawford loses, then Bob Arum is basically really iced out of the welterweight division.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But he's running out of people to put Terrence Crawford in with, and Terrence Crawford is too good of a fighter to be fighting some of these people that they keep coming up with for him.
Terrence Crawford, I don't know, he's just trying to cash out, to be honest with you. Because you know why? Last year, Top Rank sent me a contract. I signed my part. He never signed him. Top Rank couldn't find him.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Damn.
Now, how much longer do you think you can stick around with guys continuing to duck you? Because I know it's got to be frustrating on your end, you know?
Probably, hopefully by this might be my last year fight, man. Like, I can't take it. It becomes frustrating, you know. It just, I don't know, like, boxing is like a love-hate relationship, man. You know, sometimes you love it, sometimes you hate it. I'm fed up. I'm ready to retire and just get a divorce.
Yeah.
So
Who's number one, pound for pound, to you?
Canelo right now.
Okay. Yeah, I tell people that all the time too, and everybody is like, nah, Canelo's not. Canelo, to me, the best thing that ever could have happened to him was losing to Floyd. Once he lost to Floyd, his defense got better.
Yeah.
Everything got better. Not only did the defense get better, but I think he's more hungry now than he was when he was younger. But I think he fought Floyd when he was too young. He was only about 21.
Yeah.
21 or 20.
Floyd caught him at the right time. He was still green.
Yeah.
And now he's totally a different fighter, man. His defense got better, his counter got better, his punching power got better. He's just a better fighter overall. He's a better fighter.
Yeah. They saying that that I guess who he got who does he have for Cinco de Mayo? Damn, Saunders. He got Saunders.
It's gonna be an interesting fight.
He's a good fighter.
Saunders moves a lot, but I don't think he's a big puncher. And I don't think he's gonna be able to keep Canelo off him.
And then they saying afterwards that Caleb Plant. I like Caleb Plant, but I don't think Caleb Plant has fought anybody at a magnitude of Canelo.
Correct. I'm with you on that. He's talented, but again, like you said, he haven't fought. He got, I think, maybe 1 or 2 fights, like a Benavidez.
That's Benavidez fight.
If they fight, and the winner out of that should fight Canelo.
I like Benavidez.
He's a beast. He's fighting tomorrow night, right?
Tonight.
He's fighting tonight.
Tonight, yeah, he fight tonight. He fight Ellis tonight.
This should be a good fight.
Yeah.
So if you see yourself possibly at retirement, do you see yourself getting into training or anything? So what will be next?
I would like to train kids, but not to fight. Like I was training kids in New York for a little bit, but as far as like building their confidence, getting the kids that was getting bullied in the neighborhood, just to boost their confidence up and give them a better self-esteem, because these kids nowadays, man, they can be brutal with their mouths. Man. You got a lot of kids getting bullied in school, and it's rough. It's rough growing up.
Yeah.
Man,
it's going into like depression and suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Let me say, going through your own thing and think about killing yourself is your worst enemy, right? You just don't know when you're gonna wind up doing something stupid to yourself. At least with an enemy, you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
But with yourself, like, you just don't know. You can get snapped any minute.
Yeah. Definitely. And mental health. Man.
It's real, especially now with the COVID. It's been rough, man.
Yeah, sure. What do you think, Joshua and Fury? Who do you think will win that?
Fury's gonna play with him. I like Joshua. He for heavyweight, he's fundamentally sound, but he's stationary.
I got you.
Yeah.
And Fury, man, Fury's all over the place.
Yeah.
He's like an Ali type, right? I love Fury, man.
Yeah. Fury, I think Fury said the other day that there's a possibility that the third fight with him and Wilder may happen before him and Joshua.
I was just reading that yesterday, actually, on Instagram.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Let's see who Wilder guys are training now,
What'd you say?
Who's training Wilder right now?
I'm not sure. I was kind of disappointed in Wilder though, because Wilder made a lot of excuses.
Yeah.
First it was the costume, then it was Mark Breland, and then it was the gloves. And it's just, I get it. You don't want to lose. If anything, I'll say that's one thing that I think that Floyd Mayweather kind of put a dent in the game with. Like everybody is afraid to take a loss. They feel like once you take a loss, it devalues you to that level that you can't never get another big fight. So whenever people lose, they get 50 million excuses why they lost. And I watched that fight. Fury was just better than him that night.
Yeah,
I think if they fight again, he'll beat him again.
Yeah, his game was solid. I mean, he did good. Fury was doing good the first fight. He just got caught with 2 monster shots that put him down.
I always say styles make fights, and I believe Fury's style it confuses Wilder because Deontay usually has stationary fighters. Fury's coming from everywhere, different angles, different punches. You just don't know where he's coming from.
Yeah. It's going to be hard, though, for whoever's training Wilder now to get him. Because to me, Wilder is not, like, when you look at technique is not on his side. Like, to me, he's just somebody that he's power.
Just a power puncher.
Yeah.
But I think now what's going to be the curse for Wilder is mental.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to step his mental game up. Forget about anything else. Like, that's one thing you got to fix first.
Yeah.
Especially if you get to that rematch with Fury.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to see any 40-pound suits. I don't want to. Man, I don't want to hear any more excuses. You know.
Yeah, but you know damn well how much that damn got some weight, man. You gotta wear that. Come on, man.
He was exhausted on the ring walk.
Yeah. He looked exhausted. Him sitting down in the locker room, he looked exhausted. I think mentally, he drained himself mentally, man.
Yeah.
He looked nervous in the beginning.
Yeah, he did.
What's the who was calling the last fight? During the last Broner fight. Gosh, I always forget his name. That he fought Danny Jacobs. What's the dude? He was on the Contender too. Gosh, what's his name?
Oh man.
Sorry, ESPN? No. Mora.
Yeah, and Mora was talking about that during the Broner fight. He was like, he said I think he said he got knocked out, and he was like that was it Mora? He was saying that it may have been Mora. He was saying that he got knocked out and he underestimated how difficult it would be to come back after getting knocked out. Like I think he said he ended up having to go to therapy or something like that because of it.
It happens, man. It's part of the game. That's the thing, though. Like, these fighters want to keep milking the game, fighting bones, and then when they do step in there and fight somebody that's going to have a possibility of knocking them out and get knocked out, mentally they're broken.
Damn. Yeah.
Like, you can't get babied throughout your whole career, and then when you move up, you want to point fingers at everybody that, because of him I lost. Because that person, no, man. It is what it is. You stepped up to another level of the game. You got defeated. It happens.
Yeah. You see it though. Like even as a fan, you watch some of these fights, and it's like these prospects, they up and coming, and then they put them in with somebody, and you see like the first couple of rounds, and you realize like, you know what, like the skill level of the people that they were previously fighting was nowhere near on them.
It's a big difference
right now, and a lot of people get exposed.
That's the thing with certain fighters now. The promoters don't want to expose certain fighters, so they got to be careful who they put them in with. And that's where I come in, because they don't want me to expose them. So like now I'm screwed because now I can't get no fights.
But you know what? The fans are getting hip to it though. Now fans are starting to be like, "Yo, what you fighting? Who? Who's it? He's a bartender."
They're catching on, but still, social media, you can send me something today and then tomorrow they're with you.
I mean, it's almost like if you're promoting a fight now, you get 4 bartenders and then try to go for the championship or something.
Listen, man, whatever you put in the social media right now, and you selling it, you the man. Basically, you're a champion without even fighting.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fighters gotta start to realize that too, because you get out there, you fight these bums, then you go against the champion, you get killed, and then we don't see you no more. So then we see you on Tuesday.
But they don't care because they got that check.
Yeah,
that's true too. Payday.
I mean,
so now half of these fighters they want to cash out. They're not in there for the love. They don't do it for the love of the game. They just do it for that check.
Yeah.
But I go back to, again, I say like if PBC got too many welterweights in their stable, that there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get a look to fight somebody.
They don't want to. I guess they want to use the fighters that they can use for their guys, their top guys.
Mm-hmm.
Use them instead of putting them with me. Because now if I defeat them, then where that puts that guy at?
Goes off the
They
plane.
can't use him for the big guy.
Yeah. What do you think about what's dude's name? Virgil Ortiz.
You know what's funny about that fight? My manager tried to reach out to Golden Boy, and the excuse they give my manager was, "Oh, he's too old."
Too old.
Like, I'm too old? That's what you're saying? I can't fight Ortiz because I'm too old? That's like saying, why did Hoya for Chavez?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why Ortiz is fighting Vargas right now?
Yeah. It's
The dude I beat.
Samuel Vargas, right?
Yeah, why he's fighting him? He's 30-something years old too.
Yeah.
His late 30s.
The risk.
Yeah, it's easier fight, they think.
It's like,
Don't blame it on my age though.
Yeah, it's the risk.
you know what it is? It's like remember when Rocky when Rocky was winning and Burgess Meredith told him those fights was hand-packed.
It's crazy, man.
Fighting bums and bouncers and I don't know, man. I like to see you get back in there.
I'm hopefully you know, we spoke with Al last week. He said June or July I should be back.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Let's see who they throw at me, and I'm ready. I'll be ready. June or July. I already got a head start.
Mm-hmm.
We in March now, so I got all this time to get ready. So I don't have no excuse.
Did you tell them you need more than 2 weeks notice?
That's what I'm telling you now. You get me? It's March now, so June or July. Trust me, I have enough time now to get ready. So I know that around that time, those 2 months, something's gonna happen. So I got March, April, May. So I got 2.5, 3 months, if you think about it.
You watch film on opponents though?
I'm a student of the game before I'm anything.
Okay.
You know, I always tell people I'm a fan. I love boxing.
Oh, that's great.
Like I grew to love it, and sometimes I can't sleep. I just put boxing on 3, 4 in the morning. I'm watching boxing. My wife like, yo, go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. So why not study? That's my job. I'm still a student of the game.
I was gonna say they'll do something like give you a week's notice. By the way, we got Jamel Charlo.
Yeah.
See, if I was in that division, I'll call out Charlo too. But I'm not. I say I'm my welterweight. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm hoping they give you more notice than you said June or July. They'll let you know on June 15th that you got to fight on July 3rd.
Whatever it is, I'll be ready. I'm gonna start preparing now. Like I said, I'm always in the gym, but as far as getting ready for a fight, I have enough time to know June or July I should be in there.
Man, have you ever considered? This may sound crazy, probably at this point in your career, but I was gonna say, have you ever considered maybe even trying to go down a little further to 140? Could you make 140?
I don't know. The last time I fought at 40, I was probably like 16 years old, man. But you know, they asked me for the Broner fight to do a catch weight at 44. I took the fight. A week later, he pulled out. That was right before the Thurman fight.
Wow.
That dude's a bird.
Yeah, that's crazy. That'd have been a good fight, though.
He ain't about that life. He don't want nobody that's gonna give him the run for his money. He wants somebody that's just gonna be, you know, throwing little baby shots.
So the only reason why he probably took the Pacquiao fight because that's everybody's dream fight for a big check.
Pacquiao the cash cow in the welterweight division right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He would have been dumb not taking that fight.
Yeah, I mean, you see everybody calling out Pacquiao.
Any fighter.
Mm-hmm. Everybody calling out Pacquiao. Everybody want him.
Of course.
I mean, it's sad to me that Bob Arum didn't make Terrence Crawford versus Pacquiao when he had Pacquiao.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe Pacquiao didn't take the fight. Was it even offered to him?
I think Bob Arum was trying to make it for the longest. That's why, look, supposedly Jeff Horn, I don't know if you saw that fight, supposedly Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao when Pacquiao fought Jeff Horn in Australia and got robbed?
Horrible. That was horrible.
Yeah. That was a way to kind of pass the belt. I feel like pass the belt along to Terrence Crawford to get it to Crawford.
Was Pacquiao contract gonna be over when that happened?
Yep. Perfect
There
timing.
you go. Politics of the game.
Yeah, perfect timing. And then I think Pacquiao had one more fight left with him, and then afterwards his contract was over.
Oh.
So
Either you coming back or you can go, but you don't got the belt, so you got to probably come back.
yeah. But the crazy thing is that now even with Pacquiao gone, Arum's still chasing Pacquiao to try to get that fight made because he know the money associated with it.
Yeah, but it was so much. I heard back in the day there was so much going on with Pacquiao and Bob as far as money wise. So I don't see Pacquiao going back there.
Yeah. A lot of
If they do, it's probably be like a one fight deal type thing. It's not gonna be a contract.
yeah.
I don't see Pacquiao going into any contract right now.
Yeah. A lot is coming out though, like recently about Bob and his business dealings. Like people just they don't want nothing to do with him. And you see a lot now, like even with Canelo getting away from De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, man, fighters are getting fed up. They get to a certain point, like they don't need no promoters no more. Their name is so big in the game, like why stay with there? And I've been through this with them already. I can promote myself, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. How does it work?
Canelo don't need nobody. Who he need?
Yeah. Yeah. How does it work for fighters that have their own promotion companies though? Because it seems like almost like most of the fighters now have their own promotion company. What is it? Only a namesake, or they actually?
I think it's just a namesake. I don't see no fighter really promoting fighters like that because they're not really putting no money out their pocket. They're probably using their name and having a regular promoter do the show.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a lot of people do that.
yeah. Is that a way to get another check off the promotion?
I don't know. I don't even think they're getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Just putting their name out there even more.
Yeah.
Maybe paying less taxes.
That's yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
The split of the purse is crazy though, right? Like, don't you gotta pay your trainer? Don't you gotta pay for like your room and board and all that stuff too?
Yeah,
You gotta pay for camp. You gotta pay your manager, your trainer, your cut man, your physical trainer.
Damn.
So when it comes down to it, you got to make sure you're not taking advances. When you take advances, you screwed up. Because now when you get your check at the end of the day, you ain't getting nothing.
Damn.
I guess that goes back to what you said earlier on why guys aren't stepping in there for less than what they feel their value is. The whole step in there for $10 when you feel you're worth 20, you know?
Exactly. But you know, a lot of people just get influenced by fans. Oh yeah, you should listen, man. When you know your worth, you ain't gonna move. You know, you're gonna stay there until it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mess around, you didn't sign.
Floyd was the perfect example about that, man.
Yeah, you think you signed some lucrative contract, you didn't took all these advances, then after the fight, they come to you back into the room and your check is $1,500.
You come back to check, or you doing is signing the check because you took all your money.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
It's you know, you get these young fighters doing that, man. Mayorga was a perfect example. I remember I was in Don King's office. He was actually negotiating for the Ricky Hatton fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Mayorga came in and he wanted an advance for $150,000. I'm like, yo, dude, you in camp. What you need $150,000 for?
Cigarettes and beer.
Yeah, we
You know
seen
what's
some
funny
of
though?
his antics.
This is a true story. I was in camp with him for the Corey Spinks fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This dude, after he sparred, he'll drink his beer and smoke a damn cigarette. This is the honest truth. This is every time we sparred. Every we sparred Tuesdays and Thursdays. Every time he'll go drink a beer and smoke a cigarette. This dude was raw, man. He was raw.
Yeah, but he was making weight. Wasn't he making weight?
He was making weight, but he was killing himself. Killing himself. Like How you smoking a cigarette and want to go do sprints? This dude, I'm telling you, man, this dude was shot, but he was the realest.
Oh, man, he could take a shot.
He came in there, he's gonna give you hell for whatever rounds he can last. As long as you didn't touch him downstairs.
You fought Sugar Shane too, right?
Yeah, I actually broke my thumb. That's the same thumb that I messed up in the box offs.
Yeah.
I broke him in the Mosley fight in the second round. Actually, you can still see it. Probably see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That bone never goes down, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What was it like fighting Sugar Shane?
It was a hell of an experience, man. He was fast. I wish I had my left hand, but he was fast.
Mm.
He didn't hit as hard as everybody thought he did.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I tell people, when you're getting ready for a shot, it don't hurt. But now the shot you don't see, that's when you gotta be careful.
Oh, okay.
Yo, he clean.
Yeah, his shots, you can see his shots coming, but he can pop.
Yeah. You seen the shot he hit Mayweather with?
Yeah.
He hit Mayweather hard, boy. Mayweather was holding on for dear life.
Yeah, absolutely. But he survived it.
Yeah.
He survived it, man. That's what Floyd, you know, people can say what they want about Floyd, but Floyd is Floyd, man.
Yeah. It was 3 shots. It was, I think I seen Shane hit him with a shot. I seen Zab hit him with a shot.
Madonna hit him with a shot too.
Madonna hit him with a joint that had him
Yeah,
stabbed.
Floyd was actually coming back with a counter, and Madonna caught him with that right hand.
That right hand that had him staggering, boy. He lucky he ended the round.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the boxing game, man.
Yeah. It's true. Anybody on any given night.
That's the beauty of the game, and that's why I love it. And that's why a lot of promoters are being real careful with certain fighters, because they don't know what level they're on just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to be cautious with the opponents they put in there. Even with you know, I was offered a fight with Ennis.
Okay.
All right. He's good.
He's talented. Mm-hmm. I don't take none away from the dude, but he haven't fought nobody yet. Mm-hmm. He's fighting. I believe he's fighting Limpinen now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's good.
Limpinen is stationary. He's 140 pounder, but let's see what he does. But I think he's gonna. Limpinen is gonna be all over the place. He's gonna be, because Ennis moves a lot. He gives a lot of angles. Yeah. He's talented though. I can't take none away. He's talented fighter.
Why didn't you take that fight?
I was down for it, but the team didn't want to take the fight.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. I mean, he said he's viewed as being a top prospect. You get a W off of him.
But that's the thing. To a certain extent, they push him as a prospect. So they're still being cautious.
Yeah.
So maybe if he shows out good with Limpinen here, maybe I get the opportunity next.
Yeah. Hang in there, man. Don't hang him up. So
yeah.
No, I'm gonna ride it to the wheels fall off, man.
Hang in there. Yeah. Somebody at some point going to slip up and get back in there with you.
Yeah.
I know it. Absolutely. You know, I'll be 40 next month, but I'm still rocking, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You look in shape. You look like you're ready to go too.
Yeah, you look like you're ready to go now.
I'm only 15 pounds off. So by the time June or July come, I'll be ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Yeah. Look, but just listening to hear you talk about Ricardo Mayorga. Yo. Cigarettes, drink beer,
that dude is shot, man.
Yo, that's honestly, that's my one knock on David Benavidez though. Like, he had too many times he missed weight to be so early in his career.
Like, I guess the discipline, he probably got away from it a little bit, but I think here he knew he had to bite down, because this dude he's fighting now he's tough. I don't see him beating Benavidez, but he can punch, so Benavidez got to be careful.
Yeah, I like Benavidez, man.
He's young, he's talented. He just got to stay zoned in, because it's easy to get sidetracked when you have all those yes people around you.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be one of them dudes that people duck and try to stay out of the way of.
He might get a shot with Canelo. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. You know, because I know Canelo. It appears Canelo's probably tied up for like the next couple of fights. Because I definitely think he's gonna be Saunders. I think he's gonna be Plant too.
You think that fight with Plant is gonna happen after the Saunders fight?
I think so. I think Caleb Plant is going to go for his payday.
Is he the mandatory? Who's the mandatory after?
No, I don't think
I
Caleb.
don't think he's a mandatory.
But I think his team already laid out their plan that they wanna try to unify the division, and that's why they fighting Saunders, and then they going after Plant. Plant got the IBF, I believe.
Gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. And Plant.
Be careful you don't unify to move up one more weight class.
And fight another shot, Sergey Kovalev.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
but Kovalev just tested positive, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So he's out for what? Well, he's out for 6 months.
Kovalev ain't looked the same. Kovalev to me hasn't looked the same since that second Andre Ward fight. I thought he won the first Andre Ward fight, honestly. I thought Kovalev won that first Andre Ward fight. He got but he did the second fight, clearly he lost. And then he who's the dude that knocked him out? Damn, was it Barrera?
Was it Smith? No.
Wasn't Sullivan Barrera?
I think it was Barrera.
It might have been Barrera that knocked him out.
Yeah.
In a rematch.
Correct.
You know, but his skin don't look good. He looks like a very different type of fighter now.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. You know who's another dude that to me is a good prospect that I feel like a lot of people are gonna stay away from, although I heard that Triple G possibly may get in with him. Jaime Munguia.
I like Munguia, but he gets hit too much.
Yeah. Maybe that's why Triple G willing to get in with him.
Right now, early.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It'd be like a Canelo and Floyd.
Yeah. Triple. The last dude Triple G fought, I think they said was a post office worker.
He wasn't a bartender? Half of these dudes be bartender Uber drivers.
He picked up a fare for Uber on the way to the arena.
Man. What you doing tonight?
Ain't fighting nobody else unless they're a civil service employee or Canelo. That's all he's doing. He's got to either work for the city, the state, or Canelo.
What do you think about the 135 pounders?
Yo, that division is stacked right now.
Yeah.
Stacked. You see Haney and Lomachenko going back and forth on Twitter.
That Haney haven't fought one yet. But I think that fight with Lomachenko would be a good fight right now.
I think it would be too. That's two technically sound people. I think that now that Teofimo beat Lomachenko, people sleeping on Loma, but I think Loma might give Haney that work.
It'd be interesting. I would like to see that fight.
Yeah, I
would like to see how Haney deals with that high tempo pressure.
Exactly.
With that movement, with the slickness that he has.
The angles.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed with Haney performance versus Gamboa.
Gamboa is done. See, this is a perfect example. They know Gamboa is done. That's why he keeps getting these opportunities.
You know what it is? He's a way for some of the younger dudes to have a good name on their resume.
Okay, so why they can't do that with me?
They're gonna wait till you're 45, 46.
Yeah. You can't go out there and actually beat them.
I'm gone.
Yeah,
That's a bad name on the resume. They beat them.
Crazy, man.
But yo, that division right there,
yeah, it's stacked, man. It's stacked. Then Santa Cruz, he can come back and probably fight him and Haney be a good fight too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I like Santa Cruz. I personally think that Santa Cruz was getting off until he got caught with that uppercut. He was getting Santa Cruz.
He got easy. Let me tell you, when he on the road and Tank, when he squared off, I said something is coming right now. That's his shot, that uppercut. Can't sleep on that shot.
Yeah, he put Santa Cruz.
And Santa Cruz threw that little baby right hand, and that was the worst thing he did. He threw it too lazy, too slow, and he counted perfectly.
Santa Cruz got hard, and Santa Cruz got hard. He looked good in that fight. He got knocked out, but he looked good though to me.
Absolutely, until he got caught.
Yeah, he proved to me. I was like, damn, like, yo, he's fighting. His game plan was good. It's just that he got, you know what it was? I think probably like the early success that he was having probably let him get a little bit too comfortable. And
he got lackadaisical late in the rounds, and that's when Tank he puts that pressure on.
Yeah.
Tank is more like a late rounder, like later on in the fight. That's when he starts coming on.
Yeah. Did you see Berchelt and Valdez?
But I love Valdez, man. He's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
He's proven himself. Even when he had that, I don't know if he had a broken jaw. Like, he's a beast. He's one that I got to be careful with too.
Yeah, that was a hell of a fight, and that fight was up against. I think that was the same night that Broner was fighting too.
Correct.
Yeah.
What do you think about Jojo Diaz?
I'm not a big fan.
Not so.
Yeah, not a big fan. Why you like Jojo Diaz?
I think him and Farmer should run it back.
Yeah, that'll be good.
My issue with Farmer though is my issue, like, to me, Farmer and Gary Russell Jr., like, the inactivity, man.
Yeah, but I think Russell's about to fight someone, no?
Is he? Yo, he fight one time a year.
I know. I think I forgot who. I think he's fighting a Chinese kid, I think.
Yo, he fight Gary Russell Jr. He's talented as hell. He's
sick with it.
He should be asking for that Loma rematch.
That'd be a good fight too.
Yeah.
Run it back.
But he was calling out Crawford earlier. I think it was late last year.
Yeah, but damn, like 35, like you gotta go all the way up to 47. He's small. Like Russell's small.
Yeah.
Like did you ever meet him?
Nah.
He's small. Like I tell you, like we came out of the amateurs together. He's small.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But that, yo, he got to get busy. Like, yo, you got with his name, he should be fighting at least 2 times a year.
Yeah, easy. I don't know why the inactivity. I don't understand it, but he's talented, man. And you know what, fighters like that, like even myself, timing is everything.
Yeah.
Like you gotta stay active because he's a great counterpuncher, and that's his main thing is his counterpunching.
Yeah.
And if you don't stay active, you know, you gotta stay active, otherwise forget it. The swords, forget it, they start wearing down.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a fight that nobody over here in the US probably would pay to see or cares to see, but it's gonna happen and it's gonna make big money. Khan versus Kell Brook.
They should have been did that. I don't like, they're both washed up.
Yeah.
Brook is getting knocked down with a jab. Like, how could you get knocked down with a jab? Like, come on, man. That's crazy.
I know.
Like, Crawford just threw out a jab, and I'm like, what?
You know, if his chin to me is still more solid than Amir Khan's chin. Like, I think Amir Khan was ducking him early on because I think Amir Khan felt he would lose that fight.
Yeah, but Brook been washed since I think when he fought Triple G.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never the same.
Over.
He shouldn't have never. He shouldn't have. Once he went up to fight Triple G, he shouldn't have never tried to come back down to 147. I think they said Eddie Hearn told him, like, yo, just let the belt go. But he was hell bent on wanting to defend it.
Yeah, but 47 he couldn't make no more. That's why he moved up to 54. And then you could try to make 47 again. Like, come on, why you just let it go? You know, there's a lot of fighters fight with egos and pride, and sometimes that hurts you, man.
Yeah. I mean, he was fighting dudes like Michael Zaffa and people like, you know, there wasn't really any fights for him at 154. He wasn't fighting with the real people at 154.
He was fighting Uber drivers.
After the fight, they picking up people.
He picked up the bartender.
That wins. You know, would be a good fight to see the trilogy of what's his name, Charlo and what's homeboy name? Is it Tony? What's his name?
Tony Harris.
Tony Harris, yeah, Tony Harrison. From
Detroit.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a fight.
Yeah. He was getting off in the second fight too until he got caught with a shot.
He got caught up and he started exchanging with Cholo. He got caught.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a fight until it finished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I should run that back.
Another person in activity, Demetrius Andrade.
This is gonna be his longest, right?
Yeah.
He got a fight coming up now. I think they signed a fight with somebody recently.
Well, they had at one point he was trying to fight. Who was he trying to fight? He moved up. Didn't he move up and he was trying to fight somebody?
He wanted to fight Canelo. Get the Canelo fight.
I don't think. You know what? I don't know if Canelo is interested in fighting him. He froze up.
Andrade give anybody problems.
Yeah, he's technically. Yeah.
Let me tell you, he's long. He's sick. Like he got it. He's a full package, man. He'll give any partner in that weight class a problem.
You think that's why he can't get a fight?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then he don't run his mouth. So, like you said earlier, like you got to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at one point, wasn't he supposed to get in there with Billy Joe Saunders?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess there wasn't the zone couldn't get enough funds to get up there for both fighters, and they never made it.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But Saunders is a big draw in Europe, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So he could have went up there to Europe and fight.
I don't know at this point, like, that he needs to fight. He's another dude with like an activity and has a big enough name where he should be getting better fights.
Who's that?
Andrade. Like, why is he not trying to fight?
He should be in the top 5 in that division, even top 3. Yeah. He got a belt.
He do. Yeah.
So they should try to unify. I don't understand what's going on with him.
Yo,
he's with Eddie Burns, so like I guess I don't know why they're not pushing him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Triple G got to get in there with somebody else. That Canelo, I don't think Canelo giving Triple G another fight. So Triple G got to get in there with somebody.
Like you said, he's gonna fight the young kid. He got that weird Mexican kid. I forgot his name.
I don't know. I mean,
fight him next. I'm assuming that's gonna happen. Watch.
Yeah. Well, what did he? Triple G got with a 3-fight deal with DAZN?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it in there. I think he fought. Didn't Triple G fight Derevchenko and get into like some epic war? He fought. I think he fought Derevchenko.
Was that the last fight?
Nah, his last fight was against a post office worker. But it was a dead up. He set like the record for the most amount of jabs landed or something like that.
Of course, you can break records.
The post office man didn't deliver that night.
That's crazy, man. But it's good though. Like not only like fighters can see it, whereas outsiders of the game can see it. They got eventually the promoters got to change the game because they ain't gonna get nobody supporting the fights because now if you don't get no views on TV, you gotta shut it down. You gotta change your game.
Yeah. Think about it.
Through TV, they're gonna keep doing the same nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. We just talked about so many fighters with inactivity. I mean, some of that stuff is strategy. Some of that is probably making the fights and stuff, but that's an awful lot of inactivity from good fighters.
Yeah. A whole lot of them. It's not that the fighters don't want to fight. That's just how it's done.
The business.
The A side is fighting, and they're keeping the B side on the back burner.
You know what? One thing, as we mentioned, like the post office fighters, the Uber drivers, is I always found it interesting how, like, the average fan, a lot of the average fans seem to think that they could actually compete with professional fighters.
It's like Jake Paul think he can compete with Floyd Mayweather. Like, come on, dude. I understand you got millions of viewers on your ESPN podcast, whatever the hell you're doing. You gotta respect the game, man. You knocked out what's his name?
Nate Robinson.
Robinson, like, come on, he's a basketball player. He's not a real fighter.
No.
getting all hype and big. Like, get out of here, bro. I even called him on his Instagram. I told him I'll fight you anyway.
Yo,
One of the things that stand out to me is like, I think back to, 50 Cent was trying to challenge Floyd Mayweather to a fight at one point. And I'm saying, this guy, forget about size, he would get killed in there.
They're like best friends, man. I don't know. They always going back and forth. Like, I don't know, the boyfriend and girlfriend. Them two. One minute they like each other, next minute they hate each other.
well, Luis Collazo, man, we appreciate you taking time out this evening to chop it up with us, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I appreciate it, man.
Yo, so give out your social media if people, when people watch this, that way they could look you up and contact you if they want to.
Catch me on Real Luis Collazo on Instagram and Twitter is the same thing at Real Luis Collazo. Just hit me up. I always reply to everybody that hits me up. I'm not one of those who just look at the message and just ignore it. I like interacting with my fans and my supporters, and I appreciate it.
Yo, good looking out, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Look forward to seeing your next fight, man. This summer.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna keep y'all posted, but I'll be hitting y'all up. I'm gonna be bothering y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Definitely.